Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Batman Detective Comics, issue number 1013 from DC Comics. We're going to continue this Mr. Freeze storyline. I have the whole complete set of this storyline, so we're going to continue where Batman is beating up, crooks, and he wants to know where he hides the woman, or basically, he kidnapped a woman and he sent it to somewhere. Batman says to him he wants to be a believer because he says, no, we just only robbed the house. But then he says, I beat up your partner. Now, watch this here, right? So this guy is then beat up. And he says, I barely recognize him. You beat him to a pulp. His nose is almost gone. Are you sure about that? I mean, his nose is still here. He said, you beat him to death. And then, wait a minute. So Batman said this is his pal. Okay, but remember this particular part, what he says here. So Batman just pulls him up. He says, no, that's not true. It was actually the fall that killed him. And I thought, wait a minute, Batman doesn't kill. What's going on here? So he says, talk, okay? And then he says, I brought him to Mr. Freeze. It's Mr. Freeze. And then it seems that this is not real, that it's Alfred in disguise, right? Which begs me then a question. So if he thinks that, he says, this is your pal, and he barely recognized his pal, but you should recognize his clothes, right? I mean, this is your pal. So couldn't you just see that this is not your pal? Because probably your pal doesn't have the same clothes, and this is then the pal. Oh, okay, I see it now. Alfred just took his clothes. Okay, I get it. I missed totally that part. Anyway, so he congratulates Alfred that he did a good job, but he noticed him breathing. Yeah, well, we can have that. No breathing next time. Noted. All right. So they're going to prepare for, attack Mr. Freeze. Well, Mr. Freeze here is dealing with corpses and also wants to resurrect Nora. So he wants to have a status report on his team, but his team doesn't answer. And then we see this, because Batman has infiltrated his compound. And I think, okay, this looks cool, right? Batman is using different kind of suits. So this is, fire suit, I guess. Some fun action. And he has also some barbecue gun. Anyway, so he says, it ends here. But Mr. Freeze says, your presence here is jeopardizing my mission. He said, if you leave now, I promise him not to kill him. What kind of threat is that? So Batman, of course, doesn't agree with that. And he wants to deal with Freeze. But then Freeze says something about, I like fake science, right? But this is a little bit ridiculous. I have chosen them carefully, talking about the women that he's just kidnapped. They have been drinking Gotham water laced with a special DNA strand of Nora for several months now, specially piped in to their residence. Wait a minute, so you laced the whole water with DNA of your dead wife or frozen wife, or, doesn't that get everywhere instead of, piped especially to these women? That sounds really, really ridiculous. I mean, that means that all the people have also drinking. Okay, never mind. Don't do it. Don't do it, Marinus. Don't go in there. He's been getting attacked by frozen dead animals and corpses, I guess. That's been remotely triggered by Freeze's contraptions. All right. Ads. So, Batman is dealing with these undead frozen hordes. Freeze is getting out of here, and but he is not liking that he lost the other woman to experiment on, and he's, I don't know, escaping through his Freeze mobile. All right, but Batman is figured out, because he's the greatest detective ever, that they are being remote controlled. He's using his cable to short circuit this machinery, and they all fall dead, I guess. So he's following him on his snowmobile, bat snowmobile. He's catching up to Mr. Freeze, but his computer system says there is someone on the roof, and he's pressing this button, because, and then this is happening. So he's not only zapping the bats off his Freeze mobile, but also has encasing him with a net. But he knows how resilient the Batman is, and he's using a grenade or something. A freeze grenade, if you will. So Batman is drowning or freezing to the bottom of this lake. I think our specially designed depth charge did its job, Nora. Enjoy the moonlight drive. But of course, this is the Batman we're talking about. Batman escapes by using his fire suit, right? And okay, that's actually smart. Cool, right? And because cold and... I don't have to tell you this. Anyway, so he's calling Alfred, I need a large transport vehicle and make some room in the cave and put a mask on. All right, so, and then he says to him, hey, didn't you just couldn't find a better mask? So he has this flash mask on, and I thought, why need Alfred have a mask on in the Batcave? Which makes no sense. But according to Batman, he does not know if they are still processing information in their brains. So that means he thinks by having these frozen women here, they can still... Sorry, I need to process this. See through their eyes and, how do you say, collect information of what they're seeing in their brains. Probably, maybe, but not possibly. Therefore, he has his mask on. Come on. All right, so he says, hey, we need to have sonic reverberators that will help these women to talk when they are being unfrozen. So they did a whole page about that. He's going to do that, which... Right. Moving on to where Mr. Freeze and Gotham Pine Barrens, deeper in this, well, is this a lake? Is this a wood? What is this exactly? Resident? Anyway, so he is tried to bring his wife back to life, right? Because she has a condition, therefore he froze her, and now he's using some kind of a medicine to awaken her. And she says, Victor, don't. And this is probably the last thing that she remembered, because she's been frozen in cryo sleep for countless years. So she has zero recollection of what's happening now. And we're going to continue the story in another comic, in another book, in another issue of the Detective Comics Batman issue 2014. So yeah, I'm a little bit intrigued. I think the art is great by Doug Mahnke. I'm not sure about Peter. Is it Peter Tomasi? Is that how you say it? Is it Peter Tomasi? I mean, not sure how good every writers are because talk about his writing, because I don't know his writing style a lot, and he is one of those modern writers. Could be good, could be bad. We'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Hope you like this video. Comment, like, subscribe, and all the YouTube jazz. See you next time, as usual. Bye-bye.